the Oscars. And well, the dress was fierce. And so was the reaction to not winning. Angela Bassett snubbed at the Oscars. I'll go ahead and say it. That's what many of you at home are saying, despite many critics favoring her to finally win her first Oscar. Can you believe it? I mean, just pause right there. Her first Oscar. Angela Bassett, her body of work, come on. That was gonna be for her role though. She was nominated for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Angela Bassett lost though to Hollywood starlet in her own right and a Hollywood baby. I can talk about nepotism if I want to. Jamie Lee Curtis, Best Supporting Actress category. Bassett could not hide her heartbreak for the loss. Some have criticized her for showing her disappointment. I call it her authentic self. Okay. However, fellow nominee Kerry Condon also had a similar look of disappointment and did not get the same criticism. Go figure. Angela Bassett not winning. I thought she was a shoo-in. Now, here's what people online are saying. Many have defended Bassett, reaction. Just one example we'll show you here. Angela Bassett's reaction was perfect. Zian Hurston wrote, if you're silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it. Angela was snubbed. Again, Black women are regularly overworked, underpaid, devalued, disrespected, ignored. Tonight, that pain was palpable. Good. I'm not mad at that. Fellow actors Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Major, they seem to feel it as well. And they showed support for Bassett on stage following her loss, with Jordan saying, hey, auntie, and Major saying, we love you. It's like a shout out. We see it. We all see it. Bassett has been nominated twice for an Academy Award. She was first nominated for Best Actress for portraying, this was a legendary role that she owned, Tina Turner. And when the legend is still alive and praises you, love it. That was for the 1993 movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? And boy, did she act her butt off. It would take her nearly, though, 30 years before she'd be nominated again, if you could believe it. Angela Bassett, everything we know about her, and no. Mayor, I want to pause right there and bring you in on this. Your thoughts on, and I don't want to take anything away from Jamie Lee Curtis. That's not my intent, Mayor. But your thoughts on the reaction and her reaction to the reaction.
So first of all, this is a woman who is well versed. I'm talking about Angela Bassett, well versed in the racism of Hollywood. She talked about how long she went between getting work after her first nomination. So this idea that she's supposed to be jumping for joy for Jamie, even if she felt joy, she also has the right to acknowledge that she was snubbed in this way by an institution that continues to show that black life is not valued in Hollywood. I'm not mad. My grandmother, now I'm learning from Twitter that my grandmother was wrong her whole life, because she said, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all. That sister just sat there and didn't say nothing at all. So Twitter is telling me that my grandmother was wrong all those years.
No, don't do it. No,
I don't think so. I think she has the right to be upset. Hollywood is a competitive sport, and this is the height of, this is their Olympiad. So she had the right to not be celebrating somebody else as she snubbed for a role that is unbelievable. And she did a wonderful job, not just portraying this character, but acknowledging all of what had to go into it emotionally. The fact that Chadwick Boseman was dead, has died, and she still had to play that role, and she did it so emotionally well that I think it's impossible for her not to feel a certain way and not smile about it.
And I think because she's so consistently good that so many think it's okay to just, well, that's what's expected. And then you throw in the racism, the history, but 30 years in between, we forget because, it doesn't crack. She looks so young. And I think, what is she, 64 years old, but 30 years until she gets another nomination. And you're right, and her husband looked puzzled too. He looked confused, okay? Courtney Vance, he looked confused when Jamie Lee Curtis's name was called and not his beautiful wife. We should also tell you, Mayor, 64 years young, I was right. Many fans fear this would be her last opportunity. I'm not buying that, but they they felt like this was her one last shot to get that gold statue, especially after hearing this during an interview. Let's listen.
I remember after What's Love, you talk about that.
Yes.
There were 18 months, a year and a half when I didn't work, you know?
And was it because you were turning a lot of things down?
No.
You just didn't, there was no material out
there? Was no material. There was nothing offered.
Wow.
And now I guess maybe you're in this position where you've been nominated for an Oscar. You're a lead in this picture. What do you do then? Well, you can't trick yourself into thinking I've got to be the lead in every situation
I'm so happy
that I find myself. No, you know, you can't, you can't do that.
Now, Mayor, I'll bring you back again and we'll just chat real quickly about this, because as a journalist, and I did some entertainment reporting, I was always told an Oscar, we do this deep dive and they tell us an Oscar is worth $100 million, meaning you get a gold statue and the sky's the limit for you. There's no turning back. You can turn down, you can throw away scripts and turn around A-list directors, but not Angela Bassett, huh, Mayor?
She's a Black woman. I mean, we saw the same thing, if we're being honest, happen to Monique. Right? When you don't play the game, it doesn't matter what your Oscar or what color statue you have. You're still a black face, and they treat you that. They remind you that so often. So I even just listening to that interview, and while she was jovial in her response, I could hear disappointment in someone who's given so much to this institution called acting, and they just not rewarding her back. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that she's at this point in her career where, I mean, she's not named or owned by an Oscar, but she deserves several awards, several.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting that we are at this point having this conversation. Still an institution that is solely white thought, white ideas get to reward who they want to reward, regardless of how much black women give this institution, and it's just sad to see it.
Yeah, I hear people online talking about, Reese Witherspoon and this one, Gwyneth Paltrow, Shakespeare in Love, I think it was, and they're saying, huh? Okay, they can act, but really? But let's talk about diversity, Mayor, because there's more. The Academy of Arts and Sciences has drawn criticism, of course, well-deserved, for its lack of diversity over the years, and it's really, you could say the system's rigged, because you got to look at the history here. So let's put it up there, including the new class. According to the Academy, 33% of its members identify as women. 19% are from underrepresented ethnic, racial communities, on par with last year's benchmarks. In a landmark 2012 analysis, the Times reported that Oscar voters were at that time, was this when we got the hashtag? 94% white, 77% male. That's from the LA Times. Oscars so white. Prior to the event, Entertainment Weekly interviewed 4 Academy voters anonymously. That's where some of the best reporting is done. That's where you really learn what people think, okay? Including a longtime actor who said this, quoting, "Think the Academy is making an effort to please everybody." Here we go. And it's reflective of the state of the world. But I feel like they're being held hostage somewhat unfairly by the wokeness. The actor later adds, taking issue with the group's increasingly political and increasingly commercial taste. Now, are we sure that was an actor, Mayor? It could have been Ron DeSantis. Who did they interview for this Entertainment Weekly article? Ron, was that you?
Woke. Woke. Everything is woke, and I feel bad for people who can't say what they really want to say, because that's a racist comment. You're saying wokeness is it's really an anti-black statement. If you look at what wokeness is, it's a word about those of us who are aware and speaking out about the injustices that happen usually to black people. That's the historical context of that term, and it's a new term that Republicans are using to control this. This person, not just in the use of wokeness, in that entire statement sounds like an upset white person who is mad that the world is not about whiteness, and being asked to recognize the truth that there are skills that white people miss when you're only judging your art. He seems frustrated with that situation, that scenario, and I think this person's thinking lines up perfectly with what happened to Angela Bassett and how she was snubbed.
Well, maybe they can explain themselves a little better, Mayor, because there's more, and I want you to hear part 2 of this statement. Okay, the actor ranted about the perceived snub of actress Viola Davis. Had a lot to say about that as well, quoting, "When they get in trouble for not giving Viola Davis an award, it's like, no, sweetheart, you didn't deserve it. We voted and we voted for the 5 we thought were best," he finishes. "It's not fair for you to start suddenly beating a frying pan." Why's it gotta be a frying pan? But anyway, and say, "They're ignoring Black people." They're really not. They're making an effort. Maybe there was a time 10 years ago when they were, but they have, of all the high profile things, been in the forefront of wanting to be inclusive. Viola Davis and the lady director need to sit down, shut up, and relax. You didn't get a nomination. A lot of movies don't get nominations. Viola, you have 1 or 2 Oscars. You're doing fine. Again, anonymous, not really courageous, didn't really want to go on the record with it, but had a lot to say and probably a few cocktails, so they were free flowing. There's still more, Mayor, and then I want you to respond. The Academy is bent over backwards to be inclusive. Last year, there were more Black people presenting. It's like, come on, I think Viola Davis is snotty, crying. I'm over all of that. Wow. I mean, really? I'm willing to believe that Andrea Riseborough gave a better performance. He would then rant about Danielle Deadwyler. Was so pandering until, right, for an Academy Award nomination. She was good. I mean, who wouldn't be good in a part like that? The strong, wronged mother. But you look at the real Mamie Till, she's not wearing all these incredible gowns and beautifully made up. I thought it was a confusing message. If they'd really made a movie about that woman who was not used to being in the public eye and wore house dresses, she wouldn't have had one incredible outfit after another. The ego behind this, pushing her to be a movie star, was too blatant for me. Okay, Mayor, your turn.
Well, this person's racist, right? Like this is a racist person talking. This, first of all, frying pan. He didn't even say the director, the lady director. He's sexist, racist, white man. That's what this is. I don't care what actor is. You just embody both of those things. This entire response is ridiculous. The idea that and then you say a white person did a better job than Viola Davis. You didn't say that. It's just, it was a lot of racism for me. And here's what I would say. What's telling though is these are the people who are picking the winners. So what he's saying to us is exactly what the hashtag was about. The hashtag Oscars so white, and we see why. There's no value in this person in anything that's Black. Viola Davis, you don't deserve an Oscar because you already got one. Well, I didn't think Oscars were about rewarding people because they already had one or
Tom
not.
Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was about the act of that acting. So I think this person they need to find out who this anonymous person is and let that person be gone.
I have been a reporter for far too long, an investigative journalist as well. And I gotta tell you, we protect our sources, but sometimes things do need to leak, okay? Somebody in the newsroom needs to go over and maybe take a peek at something so that we can find out more for the greater good here. Who are you? And can you go away? Did Mel Gibson send you? Okay, I don't know, but something is amiss. Now we can't tell you there is a positive note from the Oscars. Michelle Yeoh became the first Southeast Asian actress to win Best Actress. She joins Halle Berry, who co-presented her the award, as the only 2 women of color to win Best Actress at the Oscars in 95 years. Berry won her award 21 years ago, Mayor. Isn't that it right there? Only 2 women of color. That speaks to opportunity, right? Access. And it speaks to credibility. This is not a credible process, Mayor, is it?
It absolutely isn't. I mean, it goes back to this idea, this culture of Oscars is a white culture. I mean, how can you actually say that, Michelle, in 2023, 92 years, only two women of color rose to this level. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The only thing I am left feeling when I hear about the Oscars, because I don't usually watch it, is another white institution is, picking, dotting a couple of few brown and black people just so they can continue with their self of awarding their self. I am not impressed with the fact that you have this institution that takes so much from other cultures and reward white people over and over and over again. And maybe that award is $100 million award for some. But most of those people who do receive that $100 million value are not people that look like you and me, Sharon. Not at all.
No, they're not, Mayor. And let's talk about the racist anonymous commenter in the Entertainment Weekly reporting one last time, because he seemed to be exasperated by the black trauma, okay, with Till and come on. And the other thing we have to talk about in Hollywood is the scripts, the stories. I too am filled up on black trauma, as if we don't have anything else to celebrate. So when we have a superhero before us nominated, don't blame us for believing that part, she deserves that gold statue. But I'll leave you with this and give you the last word, Mayor, because I do wonder, and it's something we talk about internally a lot, externally too, though. When do you stop begging for that approval? We know she's great. And let's remember, Mayor, she never said a word. She just sat there and looked, and everybody's gone crazy about, how she was ungrateful and disrespectful. But when do we stop begging for the ultimate?
Yeah, and I think beyond begging, I think what black people do is the way we show up out loud, and I think we're obligated because we know there's a generation and people coming behind us that if we're silent about it, then that our story won't be told. So the idea that black people complain about what does not happen at the Oscars, what does and does not happen at the Oscars, it's just a marker for history to say we've been saying this for so long. We've been saying this for so long, and I think we need to continue to do that. I don't think we stop until equity is achieved. So as long as people as talented as Angela Bassett are being snubbed, as black people, we are obligated to say something. I will say there is something truthful about what you said about this man saying Miss Till didn't have this kind of wardrobe. Really? Are you saying that Hollywood reflects everybody's wardrobe? And I mean, what are we talking about? To say that you don't believe this woman should have been dressed up to be made basically suitable for white folk, suitable for Hollywood, he didn't believe it. It didn't seem true. Who are you? What do you know about Mamie Till? What do you know about this woman's dress code?
Is not a historian in the least, okay? Has not studied Mamie Till, I guarantee it.
At all. His idea of her is Mammy. That's what he was thinking. That's what he wanted to believe.
That's that part. You're right. Oh, I just love having you on because you keep it real, keep it a buck.